Welcome to the SmartCubes webinar introducing Amplifi PRO. My name is Omar Abdullah and I'm a co-founder of the firm based out of our Chicago office. Amplifi PRO is the SmartCubes on-demand digital procurement intelligence platform. It's a platform through which we deliver all of the essential procurement intelligence, category resources, ready-to-use templates, and more to the global procurement community. It's our single procurement gateway for our clients to consume off-the-shelf intelligence, access our proprietary solutions, and make custom requests as and when needed. The content within the platform includes more than 400 category insight reports, as well as reports on megatrends and sustainability trends. There's also content that discusses all of the big-ticket procurement issues of the day, along with pricing and cost structure data across hundreds of commodities. There's also premium content from our partners, including CASME and Spend Matters, along with a whole host of other tools and templates. Finally, there's also a dedicated COVID-19 resource center with insight into the pandemic and analysis into how a host of categories are being impacted by it. The platform is available for free, and any procurement practitioner can access it, including sourcing managers, category leaders, supply risk managers, COE teams, and more. The idea for Amplifi PRO grew out of our work that we've been doing with procurement professionals over the last 20 years. As we became more and more integrated with our clients doing the custom work that we do, we realized that beyond this, there was a real need for structured, off-the-shelf intelligence, tools and templates that you could access on your own on a self-serve basis, all of which would allow you to enable yourself, so to speak, to be self-sufficient. And given that we've built a host of such tools and templates as part of our own internal knowledge platform, we decided that it made sense to open up a part of that platform to the procurement community at large. It's a really exciting and unique solution, one that we believe is going to change the way procurement professionals make decisions. We feel this is a tremendous value proposition. So with that introduction, let's dive right in and explore the platform itself. So this is the Amplifi PRO login page. For the best user experience, please use the Chrome or Edge browsers and be sure to clear your cache periodically. Now, if you received a link via email, or if you clicked through from our website or other social channels, you'll land on this login page. If you're a new user, you can sign up by providing some pretty basic details. And if you're returning to the site, you can log in straight away with the credentials you've already provided. On the Amplifi PRO homepage, you'll see that we have a variety of content which you can browse through in various ways. Let me give you a quick overview of the navigation and layout. The heart of the platform is right up here, under Categories. This is a category level drop-down where we cover all major direct and indirect spend categories. In addition, if you're in a specific role, innovation or commodity risk management, for example, or if you're looking for something specific in terms of type of report, you can browse via this all intelligence view as well. We also have, as I mentioned earlier, a dedicated section covering impact assessments as a result of COVID-19 on a variety of categories, subcategories, and sectors. We also have a variety of self-serve tools and templates that you can download, and thought leadership, both from the SmartCube as well as our partners, including CASME and Spend Matters, that you can access. Of course, you can also search for content and intelligence right up here in the top menu. Of course, right in the center of the screen, as you can see, you'll also be able to see some of the latest, more widely viewed content featured right here in the carousel. So it's an easy way to dive into some specific hot topics. Scrolling further down, you'll see that we have a few different cuts. We have a view by sector, so CPG, industrials, and life sciences, as well as a section that covers all major indirect categories. In addition, once you've started to use the platform, just scrolling right back up, is the recently viewed section. And here you'll see some of the recent reports that I looked at in recent days that show up so I can pick up right where I've left off. Also, as I mentioned, Amplifi PRO is our one-stop solution where clients can access all of our solutions. As such, the platform also has links right up here to our various custom digital solutions, dashboards, and workflows for our enterprise clients. So if you're one of those clients and we deliver a specific type of solution for you, you'll be able to access it right through here. And finally, this green button right over here, while you're browsing through that content on this platform, you can also make a request for custom intelligence right up here, or simply ask us questions that you may have on your mind. I'll now dive into each of the specific content areas of interest and talk a little bit more about the intuitive features that we have on Amplifi PRO. I'll start by looking at categories overall and the pharma R&D category in particular. Now, the process flow, of course, is going to be the same regardless of your sector, and you're sure to find your category of interest out of the 400 or so that are on this platform. So when you hover over categories, you'll see the various categories that are available to you via the platform. Let's click on the Pharma R&D category. Here you'll see subcategories and commodities that are available to you right on the platform itself. We have category insight reports for each of these, more than 400 in total across Amplifi PRO, as I mentioned. We also have a rolling news feed over on the right, which has market, category, and supplier level developments being fed from our text analytics ML algorithms. You can keep browsing for what you want or search for it at the top. You can also, of course, switch to a different category from this drop-down list right up here. But let's stick with Pharma R&D. I'll now show you an example insight report for the biomarkers subcategory, and you can scroll through the content here as you see it here, or you can zoom this content to full screen right up here to view it more easily. The idea of this content is to give you a quick view of what's happening in the supply market, with the focus on opportunities, risks, and some of the disruptive levers that category teams can employ, key takeaways, and emerging trends and players. We also present category fundamentals through a classic Porter's analysis and market insights. These reports are intentionally designed to provide focused information and not overload you with more than is necessary. The fact is that none of us have the time today to consume a lot of content. We're being bombarded with data and information constantly. And keeping that in mind, we purposely kept our reports short and succinct to give you the key insights you need and present what's changing and what the key forward-looking trends are. This is why for each of these category insight reports, we have a quick 8 to 10 page view to give you the category fundamentals, overview of the supply players, the market situation, as well as some of the key emerging trends. Now, coming back to the biomarkers report page, you'll see that there are a number of other features for you as well. We've identified other select recommended reports that you may be interested in based on the content you're browsing. You can also mark this report as your favorite, download it, and also share it with colleagues within your organization. I'll now take you to another category page, packaging. Again, there's content available here on many subcategories within packaging and targeted news items as well. But another really interesting feature we've included is that you can run a category strategy simulation right on the Amplifi PRO platform itself. Let's look at corrugated boxes. As you'll see by clicking on this lightning symbol, this tool asks you to answer a few specific questions about your category, business, and demand context. For example, you'll see 12 different questions here that you can answer based on the specific circumstances of your company. I'm just going to enter a few different answers here for the purposes of this demo. Now, when you're done answering the questions, you'll be shown potential strategies on a 4x4 matrix. The supply side answers have already been populated by our specialists based on the work that we've done and keep doing, but you have the option to go in there and change those as well in order to rerun the simulation. You can then download this view, save this simulation, and compare it to others that you've created in the past as well. Going back to the packaging category overall, beyond the insight reports, you can also see a host of other reports and analyses. For example, you can access cost-related intelligence. So within packaging, let's filter this and pick corrugated and solid fiber box manufacturing in the US. Here you'll see cost structure information as well as cost driver information. You can similarly look for data in other countries and subcategories. And finally, you can also download the chart data. More broadly, as we all know, procurement's role has evolved beyond just category cost savings to drive value delivery, innovation, and sustainability. Our platform, in line with this broader remit, also covers key trends and themes related to innovation and sustainability in a wide range of categories and subcategories. We've not just looked at direct categories, but also indirects. I'll now move to another sector, electrical components and supplies, to show you some of this content. Specifically, let's look at innovation within batteries. A lot of change and innovation is happening here, and we get into the areas in which innovation is taking place and the industries and end users that are being impacted. Let's move on to an indirects example now, facilities management. As in other cases, we've covered a variety of subcategories, but an interesting nuance here is that you'll also see regional content as well. For example, coverage for Asia and Europe. You'll also see a section on megatrends, where we look at some of the major fundamental developments that will change the shape of the category, drive disruption, etc. Finally, you can also access insights from our alliance partner Casmi for this particular category here. Next, I'll show you a cool feature under our All Intelligence section. In this view, you can access vast amounts of commodity pricing data. This is usually helpful in strategy development as well as pricing and contract negotiations, especially in those cases where your categories and subcategories are highly exposed to raw materials and commodity markets. Let me show you a couple of examples. We have coverage of all major commodity baskets, agro, resins, metals, and so on. But let me start by picking a commodity group, in this case, dairy. I'll pick a specific commodity, in this case, farm gate milk. And then I'll show the correlation of this commodity with a specific type of cheese. You can also pick other commodities and look for their correlation with other commodities as well. This commodity level data is accessible through their relevant category sections as well. Now, one of the other great features I'd mentioned earlier is our partnership with Casmi, which you can access via the All Intelligence dropdown as well. Of course, you might know them already. They organize peer-to-peer roundtables and panel discussions covering insights and best practices across their member base. We've been able to provide a selection of their insights right here on Amplifi PRO. There's of course a lot of recent content related to COVID-19, but there's a whole lot more as well. I'll show you this business travel response to COVID-19. This is based on a survey of practitioners, and it's got lots of great insight that you can access and go through. So as you've seen, there's a ton of content. And there are multiple ways for you to access all of this content, by category, by sector, by type of report. But since we all live in this age of Google, and since many practitioners will come to Amplifi PRO looking for something specific, search is always the easier option. And we've made it available right here. In the search bar, you can type whatever you're looking for either across the entire site, or you can search for it within a specific category of content, including in our COVID-19 Resource Center. I'll use digital marketing as my search term. As you can see, there's quite a bit here, so you can look through the full list, or you can check in specific tabs for the content variety that we have and what you might be looking for. Under each search result, there are tags, and there are options to refine the search and switch between list and tile view. I'll now walk you through our COVID-19 Resource Center, which we put in place as the pandemic hit earlier this year. Here you'll find a host of reports that analyze the impact of COVID-19 on a vast array of categories, as well as deep dive assessments on key sectors. You can download any of these and, just like the category insight reports, get solid insight into the COVID impact on the category itself. This section also has our COVID-19 video series, which offers our perspectives on the most critical procurement and supply chain issues in these times, as well as access to perspectives from our alliance partner, CASME. They're constantly running surveys and polls and panel discussions with their global member base on the practical changes and strategies that are being deployed. I'll now give you a sneak peek at another great feature of Amplifi PRO, and that is the tools and templates that we've made available. We've already looked at the category strategy simulation tool, and there are many others here, aimed at providing the procurement community with the range of tools and frameworks and templates that we've created over the years and that our specialist teams use for intelligence delivery to our clients. You can download these by simply clicking on the topic itself. As an example, one tool a lot of our customers have been interested in lately is our supplier resilience tool. It's a downloadable tool which is a macro-based Excel to run your own assessment. The category playbook is another popular one. You've likely had to use or create one many times in your career. And as you go through this, you're sure to find plenty that you can utilize within your own category to solve a specific problem. Now, there's one last thing I'd like to cover off. If you have specific questions or need to contextualize some of the intelligence to your business, your category requirements, your supplier situation, etc., you can click right here. It's a fairly intuitive process where you select from a menu of intelligence project types, share some of your specific requirements, and then submit it back to us. We've created this menu based on our procurement intelligence work for global organizations, and our aim is to make it easy for you to make a request. There are filters on the left which look at different types of intelligence requests, or you can search from the top as well. These filters cover themes like supply market, supplier, risk intelligence, cost intelligence, along with intelligence on key events and trends. And also you can select the stage of category management to find relevant request types. Let's take an example of country-level supply market analysis. When you click here, it gives you a detailed table of contents so you can see if the silver or the gold option meets your particular requirements in terms of content coverage. Or you can request a tailored scope from right here. Assuming you're interested in the silver option, once you click Request Now, we'll ask you a couple of questions. Which category are you interested in? Which country? Any specific hypotheses that you have, etc. And you can then submit your request. Please note that in some cases, we may only have a gold option, or in others, we may not have a predefined table of contents because it doesn't really make sense for that particular request type. But you can still make a custom request anytime you want by sharing your requirements with us. Over time, as we develop and deliver more custom reports for you, they can also be accessed from the same platform under Archives. This allows for better knowledge management across your organization globally. Now, before we go to the Q&A, I do want to say that as you go through the platform and find reports or tools you like, you can save them to favorites by clicking on the plus icon wherever you see it. So anytime you're back, go to My Favorites and you can see your own custom dashboard. I can also set this up as my homepage, so I don't have to go to the general homepage if I so choose. All right, let's get to a few questions that have come in. The first one is, for the insight reports, what's the update frequency? So this is a good question. All of them will be updated very regularly, and none will be more than a year old. But if there's a major development in the supply market, for example, material M&A activity or a major disruption or some sort of issue, those reports will be updated much more frequently. Another question that's come in, how many users can join from a specific company? Are there any limitations? And the answer is no, there's no limitations. There are no user-based license limitations at all. Question number 3, if I'm going through a particular report and I want to get in touch with the specific analyst behind that study, can I do that? And what is the process for doing that? Yes, that's absolutely possible. We have the Contact Us link. Click on the envelope icon on our reports and insights. And from there, you can submit your queries and we'll get in touch and have a conversation. All right, question number 4. What do I do when I face technical issues while accessing the platform, or for some reason the platform isn't working? What should I do? Well, in these instances, you should email inquiries@thesmartcube.com, ENQUIRIES @thesmartcube.com. Typically, we've observed that the Amplifi Pro platform delivers the best user experience on Chrome and Edge, and less so on Internet Explorer. So we'd advise everyone to use either Chrome or Edge for the best user experience. All right, question number 5. Do I get access simply by creating an account? Yes, that's 100% correct. If you click on the link or come to the page via any of our social media platforms or our website, which is www.thesmartcube.com, you'll simply be asked to fill in a few basic questions to sign up, and you'll be able to access the platform straight away. All right, last question. How can I schedule a specific demo for my company? All right, well, if you're an existing enterprise client, you have a designated client lead from the SmartCube. Please reach out to them to schedule your custom demo. If you are not an existing client, though, please write to us at inquiries@thesmartcube.com. Again, ENQUIRIES @thesmartcube.com, and we'll organize one for you. All right, I hope this gives you a thorough overview of Amplifi Pro. Thanks for taking the time to learn about all the cool features that we put together on this pretty exciting platform. Happy exploring, and thanks for joining.